Hi again, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Around the Town with Chuck. My name is Chuck Guglielmo, a weekly interview show where we talk with interesting people in the community. And starting today and for the next several weeks, we're going to be previewing Conneaut High School Spartan football. We'll have several of the team seniors on our shows in the next 2 and 3 weeks, including Coach Rocco Dobrin when we wrap things up with our preview. Today we want to welcome to the show Nathan Eaton. You've been on the show before. Mm-hmm. And we want to welcome Tanner Capon.
Yep.
Both will be seniors this year. And let's start with you, Nathan. You've been with the football program for 4 years. Mm-hmm. And tell us a little bit about being with the team for 4 years. What are you going into this season knowing going into your senior year versus back when you were a freshman? What have you learned?
It's a whole new experience from playing JV and varsity. It's definitely a much different approach. I mean, you're playing better competition than you were in JV. You're playing just whole new people. Mm-hmm. It's definitely an experience.
I'm glad you guys wore your jerseys because that'll help me out a lot. Now I'm looking at last year's program, and Nathan, of course, is uniform number 58. Last year, going into this, in your junior year, you were listed at 6'1", 220. Has that changed?
I'm 6'3", 225 now.
I thought the height changed. 2 inches taller than the last time you were on the show, probably.
Yeah.
Wow. And our other Spartan here is Tanner Capon. Tanner, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
This is Tanner's first time, and Tanner, of course, is wearing uniform number 51. And going into the season in your junior year, you were 6 foot even, 205. What are you now?
I'm about 6'1", 220.
6'1", 220. Yep. And this is your 4th year at the team?
My 4th year.
And I'll give you the same question I gave Nathan. What have you learned as you come into your senior year versus when you first started?
Like Nathan said, it's a new experience. Whole new skill level you go against. You're not playing against little kids. Some of them are adults. Yeah. Seems like it, but yeah, like he said, it's a new experience.
Of course, this being your senior year has got to be exciting. I mean, last year you guys were able to win a share of the conference for the first time being in a conference. What was that thrill like, Tanner?
It was different, a lot better. Get goosebumps every game.
Did you feel like you were playing for something being in a conference versus your first 3 years?
Yeah, I like to compete a lot more because going for a trophy. I mean, hopefully this year, playoffs. But yeah, it's different. I like it though.
Was there a particular game last year that stood out for you personally? If you had a best game you'd like that you can recall?
I'd say when we played Titusville.
The thriller.
Yeah.
It was the 28-27 win. It was my best too.
Yeah.
We
came out of half.
What made that one stand out for you as an individual? Not as a team, but as your own performance?
I don't know. I thought that was just my best game. Everybody was about the same skill level as me. Not really too much better, but about, I don't know, even competition.
I thought for me it was the most exciting game I had a chance to call since 1992. That's a long time. Nathan, what about you last year? What game would you say stood out for you on a personal level?
Same as him, Titusville. I mean, we were down 14-28 at the end of the half, and then the second half we come back and beat them 27-28. And no, 28-27. I mean, it was crazy. Just that fact that we stuck in it. We came out came out in the second half and just drove, and we came out with a win.
Was that the game that Nathan Lauer intercepted a pass on the sideline?
Yes.
That was the same game. And was that also the same game where Nick Drew took it in from the 50-yard line on a fumble recovery?
No, that was Champion. That was game 2.
Okay.
That was game
both
2.
Big plays.
Yep.
Of the year. Of course, we're taping the show. It's July 17th. We're taping the show, and of course, practice, I don't believe, has started yet.
No, not 2-a-days, but we've been going to practice every day, 9 to 11 in the morning.
When does practice officially start?
July 31st is
So
the first 2-a-day practice.
Coming up very shortly. Of course, you guys had summer camp.
Yep.
Talk a little bit about that, Nathan.
Well, I mean, you're on a college campus. You're going up against other teams. You see a bunch of other teams, high school teams, like our skill players, we do 7-on-7s.
Are they local teams you're seeing, or are they teams you haven't seen before?
This year it's usually different. Like last year, it was John Hay, Chardon, Lakeside, and I don't remember who else it was, but they were here again. But this year it was new. It was East like North, and then I don't know what the other team's name was. But yeah, you're seeing a whole new look, and we're getting practice and new looks from different teams, so we can jump on it early. Like we're trying to see who it's going to be. We have 2 sophomores, they're Rylan Davidson and Brandon Smile. They're battling for the quarterback position, and when we do stuff like that, we're getting whole new looks from both of them, because we still don't know who the starter is going to be
At quarterback.
It's very good competition.
Tough shoes to fill with Tyson.
Yes, very tough shoes. Yeah, you got, because Brandon, he's smaller, but he's got an arm, and he knows how to read the defense. Tyson, he was able, if he knew he couldn't pass the ball, he was strong enough to run, and it was hard to take him down. Brandon, it's a different story, but we go with what we got. Both him and Rylan, they're both tough competitors.
Brandon has the height.
But the competition is what drives them. So, and we're going to have depth, and I think it's going to be good.
The summer camp, is that something new, or is this something we've always done?
We've been doing it since our freshman year. We went to Edinburgh, and then RJ Nelson, he graduated in 2014, and he went to Hiram. And then since being close with him, we started going to Hiram. So we've been going there since our sophomore year.
R.J. Nelson, big time runner, right?
Yeah,
he was
good.
Quite the guy. As was CJ here not very long ago.
Yeah,
right?
CJ. It sucks that he only played his senior year.
Yeah.
Because the skill level that he had only going in his senior year.
Absolutely.
I can't imagine what it would have been like if he played all 4 years.
Oh my, yeah.
No, it was great.
Now, even though practice hasn't started, Tanner, you guys get into the weight room?
All the time.
Yeah. It's like, when did you start getting into the weight room for this season?
Right out of last
Right
season.
after, was school still going on? Or?
Winter.
Yeah.
That long?
Yeah.
Wow.
And then me and Nathan have a SNAP membership. We go about 5-6 days a week.
Okay.
We compete.
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
We try to one up each other.
And
He's
he
usually
usually
one
comes
of
out on top.
Him.
Tanner comes out on top. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's got that cape and genetics inside him.
Well, what makes lifting weights, or in the weight room, what makes that you be a good football player? What part of that?
You gotta have strength to be good. We do a lot of agility stuff a little bit here and there, work on our speed, but I don't know, you gotta be strong to be good.
What are some of the things you do in the weight room?
Power cleans, we do squatting, bench, a lot of stuff with the dumbbells. We do a lot of core, we do a lot of ab stretches, like stuff like that.
Nathan, do other sports players go into the weight room, or is that just for like football, wrestling type things?
Oh no, basketball. The girls' basketball team goes in there, cross country goes in there, track goes in there, baseball, not really. I don't think either softball, but no, most sports get in there. Basketball, everything. You got to have strength for every sport.
Right. Well, there's one thing you boys are going to be able. I'm hoping you can accomplish this year. You're going for your 5th consecutive winning season. Do you know when the last time a Conneaut Spartan had 5 straight winning seasons? You have to go back 34 years ago. 1985 was the last time they capped off a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That was a 6-game, 6 years in a row where they won. So you guys it's some big time company there.
And I want every game to be just like any other game. Because if we put that pressure on us, then that's just going to drive us down even more. So usually we just treat any other game like it's.
That's a great answer. That is an outstanding answer. Even though I'm hoping for 5 winning seasons in a row, I think it's going to happen.
So are we, but like when game 10 ends,
keep healthy, right?
Right. When game 10 ends, and if we do, then we do, and then hopefully the next generation is able to keep it going.
You know, I told you 1980 through 1985 was the last time that happened, and before that, it was 1952 through 57. So you guys are really, I think, the world of Coach Rocco Dobrin. I'd like to hear what you guys think of him.
I mean, he came in. We were in elementary school when he was first coaching here. I mean, back right there, we were just thinking, "Oh, cool." But coming in freshman year and seeing what, like, in 8th grade year, watching the first winning season, that was when it really sparked up. In the freshman year, we were excited. Just that he gains a really good relationship with all the football players, and I think that's what does it.
And
we want to be on Coach Rock's team. It's just the relationship that he gains with us. You know, he has picnics. He does everything with us. He would go out of his way for any football player. He treats us like we're his own kids.
whether it's a 9th grader or a 12th grader, right?
Doesn't matter. Even middle schoolers, he'll go out of his way to make sure that. And it's not just because he's the football coach. He likes to keep people in line as people. He likes to make sure there's good characters everywhere. And he would go out of line for anybody. And that's what I like about him.
Yeah. Having been to the banquet last year, the Downtown Coaches Club banquet, it looks like we got a good group of a large group of 9th and 10th graders coming in.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we do.
And that's good for the future as well.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, we got. There's two people that stick out to me. Is Jake Slayton. When we were at the summer camp, I was amazed. We put him in. Just I don't know what Coach Rock is thinking when he did it, but we put him in and he threw a couple passes to our varsity wide receivers, and he was throwing it through gaps that you only see on varsity fields, and he was making that, and our wide receivers were catching the ball, and it was just great to see a freshman do that. And then another one being a lineman, his name's Jake Wiley. Big kid.
Oh, yeah.
He's as tall as us. He's about as wide as us. and being the freshman, he's not the strongest, but by come next year and the future years, he's gonna be a beast. It's gonna be crazy watching him on the line. He's gonna be one person that I come back to look at.
Can't wait.
It's gonna be crazy.
Can't wait to see it. Tanner, a freshman just coming onto the team, comes to you and asks for some advice. What is some advice you might get him about the football team? Anything come to mind? What would be the first thing you might tell him as a freshman? Because you were a freshman at one time as well.
I would. I'll push them in the weight room, off season. Gotta push them to be better. I try to encourage the most I can. It's kind of hard sometimes because they don't always listen. But
No.
yeah,
Say it's not so.
You're right. But I don't know. I try here and there.
Nathan, what about you if a freshman came to you?
I mean, people like to say I'm only nice to the freshmen because I just want the votes to be captain, and that's not true. That is it. I get that all the time. Like it annoys me sometimes, but no, I like, because when I encourage the freshmen to do things, when I get them up and working, whenever they're sitting down and stuff, I don't do it because I want to be captain. I do it because I want to see this program strive. I want to see, like you said, the 5-year winning streak. I want it to be 6 years, 7 years, 8 years, 9 years, 10 years, and it starts with us. Like when the freshmen see us working hard, they're gonna want to follow. Like we're seniors and they're freshmen, they follow. They look up. They look up to us. And when you're working hard, they're gonna want to work harder. And like Coach always tells us, work like a rookie. If we're seniors, and when we do that, that shows the freshmen that they need to step it up.
Coach Rocco Dobrin, when he came to Conneaut, talked about 4 core values. He talked about faith, he talked about family, he talked about education, and football. And football, he told me, came 4th. Nathan, why do the other 3 come before football?
Because if you want to play football, those 3 are always going to have to, because they always come before football. Education, you're not going to get anywhere. If they say football, I mean, everybody's going to hang up their cleats one day. And education is what's going to get you out in the real world. I mean, as much as I hate to say, you really got to work hard in the classroom, and you got to be respectful to your parents. And then faith, is that what it is?
Yeah, faith, family, and education.
Just those three things are what's going to make you good on the football field. Because education, if you don't get the GPA, you're not playing football. If you don't respect your parents, coach is mad at you, you may not play football. And then faith, I really don't know what to say about that.
Family's always before. I mean, you always got family. So
I mean, I've been caught disrespecting my mom, and then he yells at me. I mean, I've been yelled at by all my kids. I mean, that's not just with football. That's with every sport.
Tanner, does coach ever talk about those 4 core values as you're practicing during the week and as you're going through during the season? Does he remind you of those 4 core values?
I'd say he probably talks about them during the whole football season, not like strictly just about them every day or anything like that, but probably altogether, if you really pay attention, he does.
Do you notice if he mentions those more after a defeat, after a victory, or it doesn't matter?
I mean, he always wants you to keep your head up. If say we lost, I don't really know.
We have a poster in our team room. It's right up there, big writing and everything. And it's only when we go against those, and then he'll bring it up. That's the only time. But everybody seemed to notice that this is what it takes, and we the more we try not to do things that'll make him remind us. It doesn't really. I mean, he really never has to remind us.
Nathan Eaton and Tanner Capon are my guests here on Around the Town with Chuck, talking Conneaut Spartans football, which is just around the corner. Looking at the schedule this year, it seems like most opponents you played last year will be the same, except for Rootstown is on the schedule this year. Do we know anything about the conference schools this year? Last year you shared the crown with Titusville?
Yeah.
Titusville lost. They had 2 juniors playing on the field. The rest were seniors. They lost a big group of team of their team.
But we'll never take anybody lightly.
No.
Doesn't matter how many seniors a team lost. Doesn't matter how many juniors they had. That never phases us. We still work as hard as we possibly can.
That's good. Hard work and determination.
You don't want to have too big of a head, then you might not pull out with the win.
Right.
Isn't it funny, though, that you guys split the conference with Titusville, and that was the best game that 2 teams played with each other?
Right.
It was.
This year, I mean,
Crazy.
I don't know how Titusville. I mean, I don't really know, but Mercyhurst Prep is I think going to be our competition this year.
Mercyhurst Prep Lakers.
They got a D1.
That game is at Mercyhurst this year.
Yes. They have a kid. His name's Jesse Laquetta. I don't know his last name, but he's committed to Penn State already. He had 31 D1 recruits.
Wow.
He's massive.
He's pretty big.
He can do everything on the field. He can play wide receiver. He can play corner. He can play both sides of the ball. He can do anything. So they had a really good team. I mean, even though we blew them out of the water, but we also lost seniors. That's how every single high school team goes. We also lose seniors, and like Sturgill and Tyson. I mean, those are some big shoes to fill.
Especially Tyson, I would think.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But no, I think it will be good. I think this year is going to be. I think it's going to be another good season. It's going to be one to watch.
We have a solid line.
Yeah, this year will be our best line.
Really good.
If they're most of them.
Offensive line or defensive
Both.
line?
Both of them.
This year, I mean,
Solid.
there's like, it's me, him, Jacob Dobb, Joseph Rokowski. We got Nate Pape, John Appleby. We're all big.
Good to have Nathan Pape back. He missed all of last year, right?
It was a heartbreak. It was a very big heartbreak.
He's working.
He is working. He's got a knee brace on, but he still is working.
Yep.
I was surprised when Rocco said he would be coming on my show because I tried to interview him during the basketball season because he was doing statistics and he was camera shy and he really didn't want to come on. So
that's Nate Pape.
but
He
maybe
keeps to himself.
he's coming on, so we'll see. And then I think next week Nathan will be on the show.
Nah, Nate Pape is a good kid.
So Nathan, as you go into this year, you personally, what do you want to do this year that you haven't done your first 3 years? Think about it.
That's a
Tyler.
good
Same
one.
question. Anything come to mind?
I think just push everybody. I mean, being accountable for myself, but also being accountable for others. If I see someone's head down, that's how I am with everything. I make sure the head's up. I mean, I don't want to see anybody dogging on themselves. I don't care if someone makes a bad play. I want them to be right back up. I want to push everybody to have a positive attitude all 4 quarters, every single practice. I don't want to see anybody because I mean there was times last year where couple conflicts happened, a couple disagreements between players, and there was conflicts, and that I don't like that. I've never liked conflicts. On the field, if someone's getting in an argument, I'm the one to jump in between them and break them up, because good character and just that, and like character, that's another thing. Classy teams are always going to win, and I just want to make sure that everybody is on board with positive attitude, and that's about it.
Obviously, on the playing field, rivalries and stuff, there's some trash talking going on. How do you handle that kind of stuff?
Keep your mouth shut.
Does the
Stay
referee
classy.
hear the trash talking?
Yes, and he takes care of it, and that's what I say. Like that's what I mean. If I hear, and people made fun of me for it, but I don't care, because Coach Rock has always been on being good characters. So, and I stick with it.
Part of his core values.
Yeah, that was one of them. And then whenever I hear somebody fighting or somebody arguing, somebody swearing at him, I jump in front of them and I push them away. Because
The last thing we want is an ejection.
right, but that's what I mean. The classy teams are always gonna win.
People do see that, and then they look at you different.
And it goes along with even college scouts. That I hear from people who have been to higher levels of football, and even I play on a travel ball baseball team, and my baseball coach he went into the the farm leagues for the Cubs, and he says he knows what scouts look for: attitude, good attitude, and that's what I look into that, and I want to make sure everybody has a good attitude, is a good character, not classless, because that's just going to get us nowhere.
Do you play other sports?
I play baseball. I'm going to play basketball this year.
You're going to play basketball, okay. That's
Yeah,
great.
I've been going to open.
We can use a lot of help there. No, I mean, that's good though. You're going to bring a lot of height to the team.
I mean, yeah, that's what Coach Telback was looking at me for. I mean, just being as big as I am and as tall as I am. We've been going to open gyms, and I was just going there for fun, but then Coach Telback really got on me, and he really wants me to play.
Well, speaking of Coach Talbot of basketball, he's also an assistant football coach. Tanner,
Yeah.
talk a little bit about him. What does he do? How does he help you?
He helps with a lot with the defense.
Special teams.
Yeah, special teams.
A fiery guy.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Very feisty.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
He
yeah.
goes at it.
Where Rocco's not, although I actually saw him get a little feisty in a game last year. That's not like him.
He only gets feisty when he needs to.
Or when he knows the rule or something,
Right.
and he's absolutely certain.
Well,
And if I
because-
remember this game, he was right. I don't know. I can't remember how it turned out, but he was right.
Like we got Rock gets feisty when he needs to. We got Coach Lips and we got Coach Teddy on the sideline. So there's enough yelling with those
Nobody can be more feisty than TJ.
two. There's enough yelling between those two. So Rock only comes in when he needs to. He's a picker upper. That's what Coach Rock is. Because even when he yells, we know it's making us better.
Right.
But he doesn't yell.
Right.
Not really.
How about
Rarely
Aaron
does.
Jocelyn? He's the defensive coordinator. Is that correct?
Yeah, he's the
Yeah.
defensive coordinator. He'll
But
get
a
a
player
he'll
in
get
his
a-
own right. He was a
He
good
likes
player.
to
Yeah,
get
that's
on
what
me
I
a
heard.
lot.
He does.
He seems to get on me because it takes me a bit to get things down.
But it's good, isn't it? That
Sometimes,
He keeps you on your toes.
He's not always yelling or anything like that
No.
though. He's quiet a lot of the time,
Uh-huh.
but he's a good coach.
Tanner, did you play any other sports?
I used to play baseball, but I'm just strictly football right now.
Strictly football. Okay. So, that question I asked Nathan, I didn't forget about it. I'll ask you. What is something going into this season you want to do that you feel you haven't accomplished the first 3 years? Or you want to get better at? Let's put it that way. I remember calling both your names quite a bit.
Yeah. Well, we do play the same position, pretty much. We both play tackles and defensive end. But can I talk about season?
Sure.
I'd like to have more tackles for sure. I'd like to get. I don't know. I don't really know. Nathan
You
said
know why
a
you
lot.
don't know? Because both of you guys put in the team before you're talking about
Just
yourself.
being good team leaders.
Yeah.
Team leaders,
That's all we
right?
care about.
Nathan's, you've mentioned that quite a few times.
Because that's what it's all about. Because if you're, I mean, it's not just seniors on the field. We're having seniors, we're having juniors, we're having sophomores, and we're having freshmen.
Yep.
So if one person goes down, I mean, there's 11 people on the field. One person goes down, then that just brings out another person and another person. It's a team effort. And as long as we're staying accountable for ourselves and others, and we just keep pushing everybody, it's going to be unstoppable.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's all about practice, of course. Practice makes good, right?
Right. No.
And that's starting, you say, July 31st?
It's the first day of 2 days.
How many players are on the team this year? Any idea?
I think at camp I heard like 45.
Okay, is that the same, up, down?
It's in between like...
It's roughly around 40
Yeah,
that come
40.
every day. 35, 40.
Once 2 days started, then we'll really know.
Okay. Now, the JV players, they play on Saturdays.
Yep.
Yes.
Do some of them play in the game on Friday night?
They're going to have to
play
this
both?
year, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Last
Are
year,
they limited to how much they can play?
they can play a half of varsity if they want to play
On
if they're
Friday
going to play
night.
JV on Saturday. Yes.
And it doesn't have to necessarily be the first half, as long as it's 2 quarters.
Yep.
Yep.
I think that's how it is.
I think that's how it is too.
So, before we close with this interview, Nathan, let me ask you, going into the season, the team you haven't seen, Rootstown,
Right.
and the team you lost to last year was a little surprising. Corey. Corey. How do you? Let's just talk about the loss at Corey, because I thought that was kind of unexpected.
Yeah.
And it was a rainy night. Was that a rainy night?
I don't think it was.
No,
that
it was just
bad.
cold.
Yeah.
Okay, and you've got them here.
Yep.
I think it's the homecoming game.
I
have no clue.
Okay. What did you learn from that game, the Corey game, that you can take into this year?
Well,
What's their nickname? Corey?
I have no clue.
Can't remember what their.
Well, coach always said so, and it was kind of. I mean, it wasn't even superstitious. It was every single week that we lost. It was how we practiced, going through the week, and he would if it was no leadership with seniors, if it was
slow pace.
slow pace, not running to every single drill, not running in and off the field. You could tell, and coach would say every single talk after a game, this is why we lost, because we didn't prepare. And that's how it is with every sport. If you don't prepare, then you're not going to win. And that's
Effort.
right. So
Give the 100% effort.
so it's going to be what it's going to be is how hard we work during the week, because then we're going to know how hard we worked. We're going to know how many good jobs we got from the coaches. We're going to know how many, just improvements that we've made during the week. I mean, it's get better every day.
And you have to be a team.
Right, and that's what I mean by pushing, being accountable for others.
Yep.
If I see someone down, I'm gonna pick them up, because that's what it takes.
Chandler, is it any different for you playing at Joslin Field versus playing on the road?
Yeah, I would rather play Joslin Field. Home
Because
field,
of
yes.
comfortability?
And it's a lot better
More
if you
fans
win.
are behind
Yes.
you.
And you're just in your hometown. It's a lot better.
Like, who do you want to impress more? People on the road, or your
So it's
hometown?
about impressing. It's not about home field advantage.
Well, I mean, we love the game of football, but it is nice to be outside of football, walking around and say, hey, saw that game, man. Good job out there. I mean, I heard your name up on the loudspeakers. There's nothing better than hearing your.
Oh, so you do hear me.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, we
There's
can
nothing
hear
better
you.
than hearing your
We can
hometown
hear
people
you.
come up to you and saying good job. It happened a lot, Like, it's like our coaches, he said it the other day. It's like people come up to him and say, I heard you're gonna have the best line you've had in a while.
We get that a lot.
We
Well,
get that
That's
too.
the main thing in football. Well, they say the quarterback is, but
If you don't have a
you
line,
gotta
you
have
ain't
the
gonna
line.
win.
And you say both the offensive line and the
Strong.
defensive line.
We're gonna
Are
be
those two
real
boys
strong
out there
up
waiting to
front.
come in? Are they playing on the line?
Yes, they are.
Who?
Those two boys
That's Joey and
anxiously
Nathan,
waiting
yep.
to come on the
Oh,
show.
yeah.
Well, Lauer plays defense, like defensive line, middle linebacker type.
Yeah. He's Lauer's moved around.
But that doesn't
Ever
look
since-
like Lauer to me.
That's Lauer because he's a phony.
That is
That's
Lauer.
how you
Oh,
know it's
He
Lauer.
looks a little bit different to me. I thought I knew Lauer.
Because he's got a hat on
Number
backwards.
5, right?
Yep. Yep.
Okay, boys. Well, good luck. It was nice talking to you.
Thank you.
Tanner
You too.
Capon
Thank you for
and
having us.
Nathan Eaton. We'll be looking forward to a great football season coming up here. They were my guests today on Around the Town with Chuck.